Video, we're going to go through the steps that you should take if you need to report what's known as a nominee distribution. So we're going to explain this. First, we're going to start with the question that I received from one of our subscribers, John Jameson, to kind of give us the background of this video. So he sent me an email a couple of weeks ago. Quote, my situation is that my mother passed away earlier this year, and I'm the executor of her trust. Her credit union account went from her personal account to the trust, and when I contacted the credit union, they said dividends, in this case, we're using interest income, but only one 1099 would be issued for the year in the name of the trust. They did provide the amount of dividends that my mother earned while she was alive, however. So the IRS says that 2 1099 DIVs should be issued, but if the financial institution does not, then there is a proper way to report it. And this is what he attached. He attached a blurb from IRS publication 559 that gets into our topic today, which is the topic of nominee distributions. So I'm going to change a little bit from the way he previously phrased it. So in this case, I've set up kind of a similar example. In this case, in this case, let's just say that Jane Doe passed away. Jane Doe also has an estate. So these principles under publication 559 will work with either interest income or dividend income. They'll work if you're talking about nominee distributions on behalf of an estate or a trust, which is why I'm showing you a different example than what was sent to me via email. But the principle works. So 2 basic principles is that a nominee distribution is basically made if you've received either interest or dividend income on behalf of someone else, and you have to report the entire amount of those earnings in a certain manner, and then you have to make sure that that is passed on so that you're not taxed on it, and so that the IRS recognizes that some of that income should be reported on someone else's tax return. And those are what's known as nominee distributions. So according to publication 559, there's an example. Form 1099 INT, reporting interest payable to a decedent, may include income that should be reported on the final tax return of that decedent, as well as income that the estate or another recipient should report. So step 1, ask the payer for a Form 1099 that properly identifies the recipient and the proper amount. But if that isn't possible, or if the form includes an amount, then there is a section in publication 559 that walks through how to report nominee distributions. So in this case, we've got the story of Jane Doe. Jane Doe received a 1099 INT. However, she did pass away halfway through the year, and so this interest income should be half reported by Jane Doe on her final tax return, and then reported by her estate or her trust. So, in this case, we've got her information on this 1099 INT. We've got interest income of $1,000. So now we're going to go to Schedule B. So one of the things about Schedule B is that it's an optional form. Generally, people complete it if they have a significant amount of taxable interest or ordinary dividends, so $1,500, or regardless of the dollar amount, if you received any of this income as a nominee. So we're going to go to Schedule B. And if you do receive income as a nominee, you would list. So I don't believe I put the name of Acme. Sorry, this would be Acme. If financial institution, Acme Financial Services. And then this would obviously be all in a different line. And so now we're going to report, let's just imagine that half of the income would go to her, and then half of the income would be reported in a trust that was created after her death. So let's see, Acme Financial Institution or Services. You would write down the full dollar amount, and then what you will do is this is what you would do even if all of this money was distributed. You would still report it on Schedule B, but then on the last entry on line 1, you're going to put so let's see if we have Acme Investments. Let's just make up some other sources of income, and then we're going to put a subtotal, $1,500. And then right underneath that, we're going to write nominee distribution. And then this is going to include the amount that you include as a nominee that actually went to someone else. So when you add all these lines on line 1, you would put this in parentheses so that you can show that this person should be only reporting $1,000 on their tax return. And then the rest of the money would be reported somewhere else. So that's how you would do this. If you're talking about ordinary dividends, then you would do part 2 instead of part 1. That's pretty much the difference between interest and dividends. If you were talking about, in this case, Mr. Jameson's example where the 1099 gets issued to the trust, then you would be working through the trust, where you report the interest income on behalf of the trust, and then there would be a nominee distribution. That amount would then get reported as interest income, Acme Financial Services, and that amount should be $500. Let's imagine that now we're looking at, the other side of the ledger. The other side of the ledger, that person would be reporting the income, $500. So that's pretty straightforward. There's not a lot of big surprise. The main concern that the IRS really has is that the dollar amount reported here gets fairly reported somewhere. So whether one 1099 recipient reports the full $1,000 amount on their Schedule B or on their tax return, or if it's broken out amongst multiple Social Security numbers or taxpayer ID numbers, the IRS, they're prominently looking for making sure that this $1,000 is reported as income somewhere. So if you've received $1,000 but $500 is taxable to you, $500 is taxable to another taxpayer, then you would report a nominee distribution, and then that person would be on the hook to report that as income on their tax return. So, Mr. Jameson, I hope this answers your question. Since you did ask me to kind of walk through this situation. But if you have any other questions, please post them in the comments section. As well as everyone else, if you have any questions, comments, if there's a topic of any sort that you would like to see a video on, please hit me up. You can hit me by email or put a note in the comments section. I will put links in the show notes to resources we've created on both Schedule B and 1099 INT or 1099 DIV as needed. So if you like our articles, please subscribe to our newsletter. If you like our YouTube videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And as always, if you have any questions or comments, or if there's a topic that you'd like to see in an upcoming video, please hit me up in the comments section. Thank you very much and have a great day.